Good afternoon, class. We are starting on the project Gaudi Hawi International Bridge Project, and myself is Niharika Reddy Surkonti, and my teammates are Romil Alam Suzad, Rosalie Xavier Corretro, Ataf Hussein Syed, and Syed Hasibuddin, Yasin Ishaq Syed, and Gurucharan Gupta Vanama. So I'm going to give the introduction on our project. So basically, our profession, like our presentation, focused on the Gaudi Hawi International Grid project. Here, a major cross-border for this infrastructure, which initiatives like connecting Detroit, Michigan, and Windsor and Ontario. Our team mainly focus on analyzing this project and also like which mainly focus on the project management lens and examining their initiation, planning, execution, monitoring, and controlling the process. So the central questions mainly guiding our analysis are like was this project successful and why or why not? So, throughout this presentation, we will be evaluating the project using the key concepts like management areas such as scope, schedule, and also like risk management and stakeholder engagement, and also like stakeholder communication, and also the governance, ethics, and leadership. So, in my team, each team member will be contributed to the analysis, and we will be conclude by presenting our final determination of the project success. So the next slide will be the project initiating and planning. So my teammate Suzat will be continuing on this.
Hi, good afternoon. This is MD Robil Alam Sujat, and my part is the project planning and the initiating and the planning. The primary objective of the Gauri How International Bridge project was to design and construct a new international bridge linking to the United States and the Canada to improving the cross-border and the business and transportation efficiency and the long-term economic growth. So, from a scope perspective, this project extended beyond just bridge constructions. It includes ports and entry, customs, and the plazas and supporting a road infrastructures on both sides of the border, and making it highly complex mega projects. In terms of schedule, this was the multi-year project with a phase milestone and strategic checkpoints and given size and the political sensibility and the projects. And the streak to timeline was challenging but necessary for accountability. The budget was huge, the multi-billion dollars publicly funded investment by the Canadian government, and success for the project was defined not just by construction's completions but by improved trade, effective governments, and through a public-private partnership, strong risks mitigations, and a long-term economic and the social benefit. Thank you. And the next member is Rosalie.
Slide 3. Stakeholder landscape and initial risks. These projects involve a broad and diverse stakeholder landscape. Key stakeholders included the governments of Canada and the United States, the Michigan Department of Transportation, the Windsor Destroyed Bridge, and the border security agents. Each stakeholder group had different interests. Governments focused on economic growth, job creation, and political accountability. Border agencies prioritized security and efficiency, while local communities were concerned about environmental impacts, displacement, and transparency.
Hello, I'm Atuf Hussain Sayed. I'll be continuing this slide from now on. Several significant risks were identified during project initiation. Politically, the project phase approval delays across two nations with different regulatory environments. Financially, there were risks related to funding structure and potential cost overturns. Community opposition and legal challenges pose social and reputational risks. Additionally, cross border coordination, added governance, complexity, and construction activities introduced environmental compliance risks. Identifying these risks early was critical to developing appropriate response strategies during execution. My next team member is Hasib. He'll be continuing this slide from now on. Thank you.
Hi, this is Sayed Hasibuddin. My topic is risk management strategy and outcomes. Risk management played a central role throughout the execution, monitoring, and controlling phases of the project. The top five risks included political risk from governance changes, financial risk from funding pressures, schedule risk due to regulatory delays, stakeholders' resistance from local communities, and constructions and environmental compliances risk. To address political and governance risks, a stronger government framework was established through the Windsor Detroit Bridge Authority, the centralized decision making and improved coordination across borders. Financial risk was mitigated when Canada assumed the primary financial responsibilities for the project. This strategic decision ensured continuity despite opposition and uncertainty on the US side. Stakeholders' resistance was addressed throughout continuous engagement, public consultations, and transparency interaction. While opposition did not disappear entirely, it was reduced over time. Adaptive project controls allowed leadership to respond and schedule delays without losing overall practices. Risk identification and flexible responses were critical to keep the project visible. The next slide is done by Yasin.
I'm just continuing on communication strategies and executions. Effective communications was essential to managing stakeholders, affect expectations, and maintaining trust throughout the project lifecycle. The project adopted transparent communication approach, emphasizing frequent updates and consistent messaging across the government and community levels. Formal reporting structures ensured accountability between Canadian and US partners. Government briefings were conducted monthly to review progress, challenges, and emerging risks. Public consultations were held quarterly to engage local communities, address concerns, and reduce misinformation. Projects progress reports were shared at key milestones, and media updates were released as needed for major development. This structure communication strategies help reduce political resistance, align cross border teams, and build trust over time. Communications were not just informational, it was strategic tools for stakeholders management. I'm just passing this to others, to teammate of mine who is Guru Charan.
Today, my name is Gurucharan. I am telling about process success evaluation. Based on our analysis, we conclude that the how International Project Bridge was conditionally successful. For a scope perspective, core objectives were achieved despite the project complexity. Cost management was strong due to firm public funding communities. All through the investment was substantial. Schedule performance experienced delays, but those delays are effective managed and did not delay the project. Risk management was productive and adaptive, allows leadership to respond to political, facial, and stakeholder challenges. Stakeholder management improved significantly over time as the communication increased and trust was built. Governance and ethical oversight remained transparency due to public sector accountability. Finally, leadership demonstration emotional influence through the relations and collaboration and adaptability in a high complex international environment. Now, my team leader will continue with this.
I would like to continue with the conclusion. So our analysis was supported by peer-reviewed academic sources, industry literature, and also the project management frameworks related to the infrastructure development, which is like public-private partnerships and also like international trade. So these references provided some additional references like for evaluating our governance, stakeholder engagement, and also long-term economic impact. So this concludes our presentation on the Gordie Howe International Bridge project, and we are more happy to answer any questions from the audience. And thank you for the opportunity, and thank you so much.